In a small, remote village, an old man named Henry lived alone in a tiny, simple house. It had just one room, a wood-burning stove, and a small window overlooking the vast countryside. Henry had been living by himself for many years. His wife had passed away long ago, and his children had moved to the city in search of better opportunities. Every morning, as the sun rose, Henry would wake up, brew some tea, and sit on a wooden bench in front of his house. He'd gaze at the fields and sometimes talk to himself, saying, "Life's strange. It passes like the wind." Though he was lonely, Henry's pride kept him from asking for help. Occasionally, neighbors would stop by to check on him, but he'd always greet them with a smile and say, "I'm doing fine. Don't you worry about me." One cold winter morning, when the frost covered the ground and the wind howled louder than usual, Henry sat by his old stove, warming his hands. The house was silent, but it felt heavier that day. The stove still glowed softly, but Henry's voice was no longer there. The next day, the neighbors noticed Henry hadn't been outside as usual. Concerned, they went to his house. When they opened the door, they found him sitting peacefully in his chair, as if he had fallen into a deep, eternal sleep. That day, the small village mourned the loss of Henry. But amidst the sadness, the neighbors made a decision. One of them said, "Not being alone doesn't mean always having someone around. It means staying alive in people's hearts." From that year on, every winter on the anniversary of Henry's passing, the villagers gathered in front of his little house. They brewed tea, sat quietly, and gazed at the fields, just like Henry always did. Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel